Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a movie review. This movie is a horror film from the Netherlands, Dutch language English subs, released in the year 2010, directed by Dick Maas, and this movie is called Saint. So Saint is the story of St. Nicholas. You've got him hundreds of years ago storming this town with his henchmen. He's a murderous bishop, he kills a lot of people, but the people that are living there, the survivors, they band together, they kill the henchmen and ultimately burn St. Nicholas alive. But his spirit lives on. So every 30 years on December the 5th, when the moon is full, he's resurrected and he's able to quench his thirst for bloodshed and exact his brutal revenge. So in the 60s, there is this young family that are brutally slaughtered, except one little boy who manages to escape, and now it is to present day. Now this little boy has turned into a policeman. This policeman still suffers the trauma from his past, and he suspects that this oncoming December the 5th is going to be a full moon, and that St. Nicholas is going to come down upon this town. But because no one believes in the legend, they just think that it's make-believe, they are setting ducks for the oncoming onslaught. So whether or not this police officer can save himself, the people of this town, and Christmas is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Saint. This is definitely the type of movie that I can see myself watching every Christmas. Now I think that it is a movie that really understands the Christmas spirit. Christmas spirit is always about having fun, never really feeling depressed. It's a happy time of year. And although the movie does have horrific scenes of violence, it still has that light-hearted approach. And because it's so self-aware, the problems really work into its positives. So it's not a movie that's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. It's not a movie that you're going to say, wow, that was one of the best films I've ever seen. There are a lot of problems to it, but it is very fun. So you can put it on every Christmas, and I think that you're going to have a really good time with it. So I love the fact that they have twisted the Christmas tradition into a very morbid sort of story, where you've got St. Nicholas, who we associate with a kind, giving person, as this murderous bishop who is going to stop at nothing to get what he wants. And when he's resurrected from the dead, he's very brutal in what he does. And so this is taking a very light-hearted story but making it definitely a horror film. So it does have a horror element, does have a Christmas element, and they combine together to make a genuine Christmas film, because you're never really feeling shocked, because these characters aren't associated with people. These characters are more associated with cannon fodder. You want to see these people die, and I think the director deliberately put nothing to these characters, so when you see them getting slaughtered, you can't really associate with them, you can't relate to them, so it's not hitting you as hard as, say, another film would that's trying to be much more extreme. So I loved the villain, I loved his henchmen, and just the way that some of the set pieces were made was very good. The cinematography was excellent. I thought it captured everything that Christmas is about in the snow-covered sort of terrain. I liked some of the script, some of the characters were fairly decent, but as I said, nothing really goes into it in detail, and so yeah, it just makes it a film that just feels very hollow, but it just feels like a movie that is definitely a season kind of film, in that every Christmas you are going to put Saint on, just like with Trick or Treat, which is a great anthology Halloween film. You're going to put Trick or Treat on, because Trick or Treat really understands the theme of Halloween, and Saint, I believe, really understands the theme of Christmas. So at the start of the film you get an insight into the history of St. Nicholas. I thought it was very good, didn't take too long to get into it. Then you go into the present day, and because the characters aren't very likeable, the director is not trying to give you character development in characters that are unnecessary, and so you don't feel that anything's a distraction. You're just waiting for the carnage, and when the carnage happens, I thought it was very rewarding. Now the problems in the film is that there are a few problems. The main problem is that the acting isn't great. There are other problems, such as the continuity in the action sequences is a little bit disjointed, and also there's a little bit of green screen used in it as well. So it does become a little bit noticeable. But as I said, if you combine that all together, it gives the movie a little bit of a cheesy feeling. So it does work to its advantage, and I think if it was taking itself seriously, these noticeable negatives would have been, would have hurt the film a lot more. So I think that Dick Maas really knew what he wanted to do. He really understood what Christmas horror films are all about, and I definitely think that Saint is going to please a lot of people at this time of year. So if you are a fan of Christmas-related horror films such as Krampus, I haven't actually seen Krampus yet, I hope to very soon, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas, you've got Rare Exports, all those Christmas-themed movies that really understand that Christmas spirit, then Saint is definitely a movie I would say definitely add to your collection. The ending was very good. I really like the way it finished. As I said, there are moments here and there that aren't very good, but overall, for a very empty sort of, it's a hollow sort of feeling, but it's a very fun film. It's a very simplistic film, but it does does twist around the Christmas sort of spirit, and it does give it a very black approach, but at the same time never really elevates itself to a truly disturbing ride. It's very brutal in the gore. I thought the gore effects were very well done, which is the most surprising for me. But as I said, it never really takes it to the point where you feel like you're disturbed, where you feel like real people are actually getting killed. It just feels like people that are on the screen for the sole purpose of being dispatched, and when they're dispatched, it is very satisfying. There's actually some children death as well, which is something that was of an added surprise. So if you like your gory horror films, then Saint is definitely for you, and as a result of all that, I am going to give this movie 3 stars. I was very impressed. Go out there and see it. Alright guys, that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. So next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.